These are 3 of the best food farms for Minecraft Bedrock. They'll get you food, loot, and XP, so settle in and let's build. This is the easiest cow farm for Minecraft Bedrock, and it's gonna get you steak, leather, and XP, so settle in and let's build. The first thing you wanna do is find an area that you're comfortable building the farm in, because this thing is going to be loud. I don't use sound, but if you do play with sound and you build this in the middle of your base, you might end up getting a little bit annoyed, so keep it close, but far enough away that you don't have to listen to the constant splashing and the constant mooing of the cows. With that, we're going to dig out a 2x2 hole, place down a double chest in the front, and run 2 hoppers into the back of those chests. It is super important that your hoppers are running into the chest and not into the ground, so again, make sure that they're running into the chest. From there, we're going to grab our stairs now, remove these 2 blocks in front of the chest, and place down a set of stairs. We're then going to grab our blocks now and remove these 4 blocks, replace them with building blocks, that way we're not looking at any of the ugly dirt. We're then going to place down 3 blocks on this side, 3 blocks on this side, 2 blocks across the back, and we're going to do the same thing on this, except we're going to leave this block empty, place down a block right here, grab your dispenser, place down the dispenser in this hole, then we're going to go ahead and place down a lava bucket inside here, and that is actually going to be how we kill the adult cows once they grow up from babies in this bottom chamber. Next, we want to grab our signs, and we're going to place down a sign right here and a sign right here. We're then going to grab our blocks again, and we're going to build up 3 blocks here, 3 blocks here, and then we're going to place down 2 temporary blocks just above those signs. From here, we are going to extend this out to be 2 blocks wider. We're going to extend this to create a hole, creating a 2x2 platform here. We're then going to grab our blocks again, and we're just going to finish this off, creating a giant lip. And then on the front here, we're just going to finish this off with a row of blocks. Inside of this hole now, we're going to grab our water buckets, place down 2 water buckets at the back of the farm. That way the cows are going to flow into the chamber. Every time you breed cows up here, the baby cows are going to go through an eventual slit. We're going to add that in a second, which is then going to allow the babies to drop down into this bottom chamber here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our glass and we're going to fill in the front with our glass blocks. These don't have to necessarily be glass, but if you do want to see the farm in all of its glory, I do recommend using glass. Additionally, if you want to kill the cows with a looting 3 sword rather than using lava, simply remove these 2 bottom glass and replace it with 2 half slabs, which is going to allow you to kill off the cows down here. I would recommend using the lava though, because you get cooked steak, but if you want to trade the raw beef with villagers, you can absolutely do that. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and replace that with normal glass. We're then going to grab our stairs. We're going to place down a stair right here, a stair right here, and just create a staircase going all the way up. Now this part is optional, but I do just think it looks a lot better if we go ahead and fill all of this in. It makes it look like a sturdy build rather than just kind of thrown together. So just fill in that wall, and we already put our lava bucket in here, absolutely, so let's go ahead and cover that as well. And the last thing we have to do is go ahead and place down an oak button here, and when we go ahead and press it, it's going to dispense the lava, wait for it to get to the other side, and then click it again, and it's going to retract the lava. That is the killing mechanism, but now we have to get our cows in here, so that way we can breed them. So I'm going to go ahead and get 2 cows up into this chamber. And doing that really couldn't be any easier. I've gone ahead and grabbed my wheat. I'm going to go up the staircase. They're going to go ahead and follow me. Come over to this platform here, and then just simply nudge your cows into the reservoir. And we already have a baby cow, but I mean, it's going to eventually grow up. Oh, I just fell down. Let's head back up here, and then let's just go across. And this process, well, that guy just walked right in. So perfect. Once you have 2 cows in here, at least 2 cows in here, we're going to grab our fence posts and place down 4 fence over top of the cows, remove that fence post, and now they're going to bob a little less, which is going to make it easier to breed them. But now all we have to do is go ahead and breed the adult cows so that we get more cows. And once we have about 50 cows in this upper reservoir, or however many you deem fit for your device, because lower end devices are going to have a lower mob cap, meaning that the more mobs you have, the laggier your world. So keep that in mind if you are on a low end device. But again, the more cows you have up here, the more steak and the more leather you're going to get from the farm. So we're just going to breed these guys up until we have quite a few, and then we're going to have to, well, we'll get there. And after breeding up your cows, it should look something like this. And again, I don't play with sound, but if you do, this is a very noisy farm. The next thing we have to do, and the last thing we have to do, is we have to replace these temporary blocks that are blocking off the water with our signs, so that way we can start having the babies drop down rather than just keeping the babies up here to breed them into more adult cows. So the best way to do that is, unfortunately, just go ahead and break this block. You might have some baby cows. I managed to wait so that there are no baby cows, but we're just going to place down a sign right there. And unfortunately, I didn't think this one through, so we're going to have to remove one of our glass blocks and go ahead and place down another sign right there. And just like that, we now have a working farm. Go ahead and replace that glass. And all we do now is take our wheat, come up here, and just breed up our cows, and then all of the baby cows are going to fall down into that bottom chamber. And we're also going to collect all of the XP from breeding the cows. And if you're using a looting 3 sword, then you are also going to collect the XP for killing the adult cows down in the bottom chamber. But once you have them all breeded up like I just did, you'll see that all of the baby cows are going to eventually fall down here. And when they do, we are just going to go ahead and rebreed these cows about every minute or so, which is going to allow for just insane cow rates. So every 20 minutes, a baby cow should grow up into an adult cow, which means that we can breed these guys about 20 times before we have a single adult cow down here. And if we do this for an hour, we are going to get plenty and plenty of cow. Steak? Beef. Cooked beef. No, steak. And after breeding them for literally like 20 minutes, you should have something that looks like this. Tons and tons of cows up here, all ready to be bred. Again, about every minute or so, they are going to be ready to breed. We're going to collect all of the XP. If we come down here, you're going to see that we have the adult cows, some baby cows, and some more XP. If we go ahead and press the button, like I showed you earlier, we're going to press it, wait for it to hit the other side, and then immediately press it off. These cows are eventually going to die due to the fire, and then all of the drops are going to end up inside of here. And as you can see, we have the steak, we have the leather, and that is quite a few drops. So with about 20 minutes of passively farming these things, we managed to get 46 steak and 29 leather. And again, if you did choose to use looting 3 instead of cooking the steak automatically, you would get even more steak and leather. But yeah, this is an amazing farm. And look, I'm sorry, you guys probably already know your fate. And if you went the other way and you want to trade with a villager, then simply replace this bottom glass with our slabs, and we're just going to go ahead and kill all of these cows with our looting 3 sword. If you had sharpness on this, then you would get even more, and no need in killing the babies, they're not ready to be harvested yet. But as you can see, I guess this is an addition to what we got, but I mean, there were way fewer cows and we got 32 raw beef. We can go ahead and take that, go to our butcher, and just trade that up for some emeralds and some XP. So if you're looking for emeralds, then this is also a pretty easy way to get those. And to get your villager in here, just have a torch, have a smoker, and make sure that there's a bed nearby. This is the easiest AFK fish farm from Minecraft Bedrock, and it's going to get you treasure loot, mending books, fish, XP, all of that fun stuff. So settle in and let's build. Alright, the first thing you're going to do is remove a 4-block strip of blocks like so. We're going to place down a double chest and run a hopper into that chest. We're then going to go ahead and place down an iron trap door right here with a water bucket in the trap door. We're then going to place down a block right here, and then a block right here, and a block right here. Now, if you want to leave these 2 blocks, you can, or we can get rid of them to save on some resources. We're then going to place down a redstone torch on this block, a redstone dust right here. Then we're going to place down a tripwire hook, and then a string connecting the 2 of those. And just like that, you now have a working fish farm. So this is an incredibly easy design, and it is actually better than the fence post and pressure plate design, because what's going to happen is the bobber is going to fall onto the hopper, so it is impossible for you to miss a fish. And on top of that, this thing technically works on consoles as an automatic fish farm, because again, you will never miss your fish. Let me grab a fishing rod. All right, if you're playing on a device that has access to an auto clicker, this is what we're going to set it to. You're going to set it to 1200 milliseconds, set the mouse button to right click, and then your hotkey can be whatever you would like. All we have to do now is we are going to grab our fishing rod, and it's going to have Luck of the Sea 3, Unbreaking 3, Lure 3, and Mending 1 to have the absolute best rates. However, don't go out of your way to go and enchant a fishing rod, because as you can see, you are going to catch plenty of fishing rods, and you could easily put these into an anvil to create a god fishing rod like I have here. So I would not say that it's worth your time to actually enchant one of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand on the edge of this hopper like so, and we're going to aim for the edge of this hitbox right here. And oh, if you have sweaty hands like me, your hand is going to stick to the mouse. We're just going to go ahead and take the hand off now. Go ahead and start the auto clicker. And as you can see, we are just going to sit here and catch the fish here. But as you saw there, the fish bobber actually falls down onto the hopper, and then you are going to pick it up regardless of if you pull it in on time, because it actually gets pulled out of the water. So this is why it works on all versions of the game, because if you are using no auto clicker, let me just go ahead and turn that off. You're just going to go ahead and cast it, and as you can see, we can just do whatever, walk around and just wait for it to catch a fish. The bobber has fallen, and then regardless, we can just go ahead and click it to collect. We're going to get the XP, and we are going to get the fish. If you don't want items ending up in your inventory, one, it shouldn't really happen. I was a little close, so I picked it up. But if you don't want that, just fill your inventory with a bunch of blocks, and then you won't pick up any items. But again, you're just going to stand on the edge of the hopper. You're going to look at the hitbox here on the edge. Go ahead and start your auto clicker. Take your hand off of your mouse, and it's just going to do its work. So I'm going to go ahead and AFK for the next 6 hours, which I already did, and we'll take a look at the drops. And after about 6 hours of AFKing, if we go ahead and look at what we've got here, you'll see that we filled up an entire double chest, and I think there are 2 mending books in here. There's lots of enchantment books for sure. I mean, we've got efficiency 4 and feather falling 4, power 4. Like, this is a crazy book. Loyalty 3, mending here, sharpness 3, efficiency 4, lots of fishing rods, lots of tools. And we filled up this chest halfway. So you can expect to fill up about 1 double chest every 4 hours with loot, depending on whatever drops you get. Obviously, if you get more unstackables, then you are going to fill up chests quicker. So I'd recommend 1 double chest per 4 hours of AFKing. And you'll also see we have 48 levels. That is, again, from 6 hours of AFKing. So the thing is actually a really good XP farm as well. This is the easiest AFK chicken farm for Minecraft Bedrock, and it's going to produce tons of chicken and tons of feathers, so settle in and let's build. Alright, now the first thing you want to do is you want to find an area to build the farm in, and you can build it literally anywhere you want. It takes up very little space. It is extremely noisy though, so keep that in mind if you want to have it inside of your base. Maybe tuck it away into a corner, but make sure that it's still close enough that you're loading it pretty often, so that way it's working as often as possible. Hey, little guy. Oh my god, there's 2 of them. All right, we're going to place down a chest in the front here, and then we're going to grab our hopper and place a hopper running into the back of that chest. From there, we're going to place down a block behind the hopper, and then we're going to grab our observers. We're going to place down an observer here with the redstone dot pointing in the back, so that way the face is looking towards the block, and we're going to place down another observer looking at that one, so that way it is powering this cobblestone block. And if we come over here, you will see that the redstone is turning on and off very quickly. This is going to power our dispenser, which we're going to place on top of this cobblestone block, and this is going to be constantly spitting out the eggs that get fed into the system. So if I just go ahead and throw in, let's say, let's not put lava in there, let's put our glass. It is just going to constantly spew out the glass, but in this case, it would be our chicken eggs. Let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to grab our glass now and place down our 2 glass on the front of the farm. And then we're going to place down 2 temporary blocks right here. And if you're having troubles and you're opening up items, like if you're opening up the hopper or you're opening up the dispenser, if you crouch by holding shift, or if you're on a controller by pressing in the joystick, or if you're on mobile by pressing the shift button, you'll be able to place items on top of containers like this, which is super handy. Once you have your temporary blocks there, we're going to grab our trapdoors, and we're going to place down 2 trapdoors on both sides of these temporary blocks. Now, I like to use trapdoors because they look more aesthetic than having big, bulky sides. However, if you want to build this into a wall, let's say, you can absolutely replace the trapdoors with normal building blocks, and then just have this in like a 1-tile space inside of your wall. You can absolutely do that. Just make sure that it is contained. And if you are building it out here, then I do think that trapdoors look pretty good. We're going to go ahead and place down a block on top of that dispenser now. And then we are going to go ahead and place down a hopper running into this dispenser. Again, crouch placing or shift placing or pressing in your joystick. From here, we're going to place down 2 temporary blocks. And then we're going to place down blocks on these 2 sides. And then on these sides, you can again place down your trapdoors if you are building it out in the open like me. Or if you want to build it differently and have it in a wall, you can absolutely just have normal blocks there. Remove your temporary blocks in the center there and place down 1 ladder right here, so that way we can get in and out of the farm if you accidentally fall into the chicken cage. But this is going to be where the adult chickens live. For now, we're actually going to come down here and we're going to remove this cobblestone block, which is going to make it so that all of the eggs that are going to be laid by your adult chickens are going to collect inside of this dispenser, which is going to allow you to use those eggs to repopulate the farm, so that way you can have more adult chickens in the farm, making it faster. This is significantly more efficient than just trying to breed them, and that is the only method of reproduction. If you use the eggs and you breed them, you are going to get way faster egg production up here, which is going to result in more chickens down here. So I think we're ready to get our adult chickens in here. All right, the next thing we're going to do is grab our slab, and again, we're going to crouch place, or we are going to shift or press the joystick, whatever you got to do to crouch, and we're going to place down our slab on top of that hopper. From there, we're going to grab our lava bucket and place it above the slab. Make sure that you have no grass in the area. Has grass always been flammable? I have never seen grass burn before, but apparently grass is flammable, so now we know. So keep grass away from your farm. From here, what we are going to do is we are going to place down a trapdoor above your lava just to make it nice and safe. But if you want to have no block, you absolutely can. But make sure that you don't place a solid block, because if you were to place, say, a cobblestone block here, as soon as one adult chicken grows up, so as soon as you have, like, say, 10 baby chickens and one of them grows up, they're all going to die as soon as one adult chicken burns. So you have to make sure that it is either an air block above here or a transparent block like a trap door. So now when an adult chicken grows up, the babies won't die as well, which means that every time a baby chicken ends up inside of the farm and it grows up, it is going to die, get turned into cooked chicken and feathers, and Steve's lava chicken. Ooh yeah, is that what it is? Is that the Steve's lava chicken thing? But that is going to be where Steve's lava chicken ends up. It is going to go inside of this chest. But in order to have that chicken, we are going to need to get some adult chickens in here. So you can either throw your eggs with the eggs that you're collecting from the system, or, you know, the eggs that you've collected thus far, or you can, again, lead some chickens up here with some seeds, but I think throwing eggs is significantly easier, or in my case, I'm just going to spawn in a bunch of chickens. Now, let's say you have these chickens, they're going to lay eggs, they're going to end up inside of this dispenser. From here, you can take those eggs and put them back into the system, and you can also breed these chickens with seeds. Just make sure whatever you do not to open these trapdoors, because that will release the chicken empire. So I'm going to get about 50 chickens up here. I'm just going to guesstimate. Again, this is for Bedrock Edition, where there are no entity crammings. If you're on Java Edition, this is going to max out at 24. I do believe that is true, but that should be about 50 chickens. Keep in mind, the more chickens you have, the faster the farm will be, but it will also make the farm laggier. So these chickens are going to lay eggs. They're going to get put into the dispenser, which are then going to get shot out as soon as I replace this cobblestone block. So let's actually just let them collect eggs for a little bit. And if you also want, you can put a trapdoor over top of this ladder, so that way you can, you know, walk all over the top of your farm for whatever reason. That was a great voice crack. All right, I have absolutely no clue how long it's been, but it's been long enough that there are now 7 eggs inside of the dispenser. So if we go ahead and place down our cobblestone now, you'll see that the eggs get shot out at the glass, which then break. They spawn in the baby chickens. When that baby chicken grows up, it's going to grow up into the lava. Oh, we got a few. They're going to grow up into the lava. The drops are going to end up inside of this chest. And again, as long as this is a transparent block, when one grows up, it's just that one that is going to die. Again, if this is a solid block, then they are all going to die. So that is extremely important to make sure that that is a transparent block. But this is Steve's lava chicken. I'm going to go ahead and AFK for right about an hour, because this is a relatively slow system to start. Just because we're waiting for these chickens to grow up. We're waiting for these chickens to start laying their eggs. But once it's going, it's going. And yeah, so I'm going to AFK for an hour, and I will see you guys in a minute. Alright, it has been about an hour now, and as you can see, we have just about 40 cooked chicken, which makes sense because, again, we have about 50 chicken up here. And for the sake of simplicity, we're going to say this is about 50, because I did all of the math off screen, and you were going to get about 1 cooked chicken per chicken laying eggs every single hour. So if you have 50 chickens, you're going to get 50 chicken per hour. If you have 10 chickens, you're going to get 10 chicken per hour. So the more chickens you have, the faster the farm is. And yeah, I mean, for having it be completely AFKable and it's so cheap to just have this tucked away inside of a corner of your base, I think it is a pretty good farm to have. Because, I mean, if you're playing for 12 hours a day, let's say, you've got a really nice grind going on the weekend, that is 12 stacks of cooked chicken that you could potentially have if you had it in... This is a good farm. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, then be sure to subscribe and leave a like. My name is 1UpMC, and I'll catch you in the next one.